So, students, in this lecture, we'll discuss the problems on signal flow graph. So, the statement of problem is using Mason's gain formula, find the gain of the following system. So, what is the statement of the problem? Using Mason's gain formula, find the gain of the following system. So, this is the diagram given. So, what we have to do first is we have to identify how many forward path gains are there from input to output. Then we'll identify all those forward paths. So, you see which are the forward paths in this diagram. You can see that G1, G2, G3 is one forward path which is denoted by T1. Got it? T1 is one forward path and the gains are G1, G2, G3. Next T2. T2, G4, G5, G6. Next forward path T2 is G4, G5, G6. Next third forward path T3, G1, G7, G6. You can see G1, G7, G6. This is one forward path. Next T4, which is a forward path, G4. You can see here G4, G8 and G3. Okay, G4, G8, G3 is a forward path. Next, one more T4, T5, which is at G4, G8, minus H2, G7, G6. So, if we can see G4, G8, minus H2, G7, this is to G7, G6. Got it? G4, G8, minus H2, G7, G6. Next, one more forward path is G1, G7, minus H1, G8, G3. G8, G3. Got it? So, you understood which are the forward paths? Okay. So, T5. T5 is which one? G4, G8, minus H2, G7, G6. Okay. Then feedback loop gains are loop L1. So, loop L1 is taken as minus G5, H1. This loop. Minus G5, H1 is one loop. Next, one more loop L2 is minus G2, H2. This is one more loop. Minus G2, H2. Next, one more loop is taken. G3, G7. Got it? So, total there are 3 loops. G1, G7, minus H1. Okay, so H1. Next, there are 2 non-touching loops which are L1 and L2. So you see L1, use L2. L1 is minus G5H1. L2 is minus G2H2. Okay. L1, L2 are non-touching loops. So the product of L1, L2 will be minus G5H1 into minus G2H2, which will give you G2H5 H1 H2. Okay, H1 H2. Then find delta. Delta is 1 minus L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L1 L2. Okay, then so delta will come 1 minus L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L1 L2. So substitute that all loop gains. So it will be 1 minus of L1 plus L2 plus L3 the sum. So it will be 1 plus G5 H1 plus G2 H2 minus G7 G8 H1 H2 plus G2 G5 H1 H2. Got it? Then for T1 L1 is non-touching. For T1 L1 is non-touching. So delta 1 is 1 minus L1, which is 1 plus G5 H1. For T2 L2 is non-touching. T1 and T2 are forward paths. L2 is non-touching. So delta 2 is 1 minus L2, which is 1 plus G2 H2. For T3 to T6, all loops are touching to all forward paths. So whatever are T3 to T6, all loops are touching to all forward paths. So delta 3 is equal to delta 4 is equal to delta 5 is equal to delta 6 is 1. So gain is summation of Tk delta k by delta, which is T1 delta 1 plus T2 delta 2 plus T3 delta 3 plus T4 delta 4 plus T5 delta 5 plus T6 delta 6 by delta. So substituting all, we get which is equal to G1 G2 G3 into bracket 1 plus G5 H5 plus G4 G5 G6 into bracket 1 plus G2 H2 plus G1 G7 G6 plus plus G4 G8 G3 minus G4 G8 G7 G6 G2 H2 minus G1 G3 G7 G5 G8 H1 divided by delta. Delta is 1 plus G5 H1 plus G2 H2 minus G7 G8 H1 H2 plus G2 G5 H1 H2. This is the required gain. So we'll take one more problem. For the signal flow graph of figure below, so the problem is for the signal flow graph of figure below, determine the transfer function C of S by R of S using Mason's gain formula. So we'll first find so seeing the figure, we'll first identify how many number of forward paths are there. They should be forward paths. So K is equal to 4. Which are those 4 forward paths are? T1. T1 is equal to 1 into G1 G2. So you can see 1 into G1, G2 is a forward path. Then T2. So next forward path T2, 1 into G5 into G4 into 1. 1 into G5 into G4 into 1. So which will come as G G3 G4, which is G3 G4. Sorry, it is G3. G3 G4. Next, third forward path. 1 into, you can see G1, 1 into G1 into G6. G6 into G4 is one more forward path. So 1 into G1 into G6 into G4 is one more forward path. Next is T4, 1 into G3, 1 into G3, G5 and G2. Okay, you can see 1 into G5 into G3, just a minute, 1 into G3, G5, then G2, 1 is forward path. So these are the forward paths. Okay, then we'll identify individual loops. The individual loops are, you see the figure, L1 is minus G2 H1, then you can see L2 is minus G3 H2, L3 is G5 G6, L4 is minus G4 H1 G6, L5 is minus G1 G6 H2. Then combination of two non-touching loops are one L1 and L2. So L1 and L2 are not touching. Then one more, the remaining are touching to each other. So then three non-touching loops. So there is no combination of three non-touching loops. So delta will be equal to 1 minus L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L4 plus L5 plus L1 L2. So which will come as 1 minus G2 H1 minus G3 H2 plus G5 G6 minus G4 G6 H1 minus G1 G6 H2 plus of minus G2 H1 into minus G3 H2. Okay. So delta will be equal to 1 plus G2H1 plus G3H2 minus G5G6 plus G4G6H1 plus G1G6H2 plus G2. Okay, G2, G3, G5. G2, G3, G5. So for all forward paths, all the loops are touching. Hence, for many forward paths are there, all the loops are touching. Hence, delta 1 is equal to delta 2 is equal to delta 3 is equal to delta 4 is equal to 1. Now, C of S by R of S is summation of Tk delta K by delta. So, we can write it as T1 delta 1 plus T2 delta 2 plus T3 delta 3 plus T4 delta 4 by delta. So, substitute T1 delta 1, T2 delta 2, T3 delta 3, T4 delta 4 delta. Then after substitution we get G1 G2 plus delta 1 is 1, okay, plus G3 G4 delta 2 is 1. So into 1 plus delta 3 is 1, G1, G6, G4 plus G2, G3, G5. So G1, G2 plus G3, G4 plus G1, G6, G4 plus G2, G3, G5 by 1 plus G2, H1 plus G3, H2 minus G5, G6 plus G5, G6, H1 plus G1, G6, H2 plus G2, G3, H1. This is the transfer function. Okay. So this you have to substitute as delta in the denominator. This is it. Okay. We'll take one by one. Using Bessel-Gale formula, determine y of s by x of s for the signal flow graph. Okay. Shown below. Now, so this has been given. From the signal flow graph, the forward path gains are T1 is, so how many forward paths are there? We'll write 1 into k into 1 into s raised to minus 1 into s raised to minus 1 into s raised to. So this is forward path, this is forward path, this is forward path, this is forward path, this is forward path. So T1 is 1 into k into 1 into s into s raised to minus 1 into s raised to minus 1 into s raised to minus 1 into 1. So it is k by s cube. So we'll get this by k by s cube. Next, how many individual loops are there? We'll write the gains. L1. L1 is, so you can see here, L1 is s raised to minus 1 into minus 2. This is one loop, s raised to minus 1 into minus 2. So it is minus 2 by s. L2, one more loop, you can see s raised to minus 1 into s raised to minus 1 into minus 2. S raised to minus 1, s raised to minus 1 into minus 2 is one more loop. So which is minus 2 by s square. L3. L3 is 1 into s raised to minus 1 into minus 1. These are minus 1 here. This is minus 1, this is minus 1. So it is minus 1 by s square. L4 is k into 1 into s raised to minus 1 into s raised to minus 1 into minus 1. So the fourth loop, you can see there are 4 loops only. So minus k by s raised to 3. Then, so there is no combination of two non-touching or more non-touching loops. Delta is 1 minus L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L4 in bracket. So we'll substitute, which is 1 plus 2 by s plus 2 by s square plus 1 by s square plus k by s raised to 3. All the loops are touching to the forward path T1. So delta 1 is 1. Y of s by x of s is T1 delta 1 by delta, which is k by s raised to 3 divided by 1 plus 2 by s plus 2 by s square plus 1 by s square plus k by s raised to 3, which is k divided by s raised to 3 plus 2s square plus 3s plus k. Okay. I request all of you to solve these problems on your own. Work out these problems, understand the problems, and continue next.